When he bumped into the girl he liked, she just looked at him with disgust. Zero chance. It sucks because she is gorgeous, but then a rich jerk strikes him. The bully tells him to stop staring at Jo-yeon. Life was basically garbage. Tien was just that guy, the one treated like a total bottom-tier loser. A simple kid who just wanted to chill and read comics in peace. But the universe decided to end the world right in the middle of school. Windows shattered. A massive purple monster appeared, tearing through the school floors. It tore through the floor. The arrogant bully was now cowering and trembling. He is begging for his life, while a glowing system window floats before him. The message is straight to the point. Humanity is being wiped out right now. Tien has been chosen. The catch, 66,000 years of hellish training. He must endure an otherworldly tower just to gain the power to save Earth. The system gave him a loophole, a bonus to pick any item he wants. He can choose anything to help him climb. The rules were perfectly clear. So he looks at the window and asks for a legendary skip ticket. The system tries to refuse, claiming it would destroy the world's natural balance. That is not how the trial works, it says, but Tien yells back. The rules say any item is allowed. Cornered by its own flaw, the system caves. It hands over the golden ticket. He activates it right then and there. He skips 66,666 years of hell in 1 second. Blinding light swallows the city. The system starts spamming notifications non-stop for him. He cleared the tower. All restrictions are lifted and his powers are unlocked. Magic maxed at triple S rank. He is now a literal, absolute god. He woke up as a god. The monster roars and charges him. He doesn't blink or take a step back. He just raises his hand. He flicks the creature's forehead, but the impact was a massive, brutal miscalculation. The force was so insane that he didn't just disintegrate the purple beast. He wiped the school off the map and annihilated its very soul instantly. That flick was a massive miscalculation. The force was way too brutal. He didn't just kill the monster, he wiped the school off the map. A shockwave sliced through the entire country in a fraction of a second. It was a planetary-level strike. Tien is stunned by his own power. Tien is stunned. This level of power wasn't at all what he expected. The system calculates his rewards for clearing 389 gates today. He conquered the challenge and slaughtered 1,000,000 monsters. He didn't expect this. The destruction is massive, with total casualties reaching a staggering 2 billion people. The bully is terrified, asking what happened. Tien is impressed by his formality. If he is right, he can use magic to activate time reversal. He can rewind the destruction, finally putting his god-tier ability to the test. Everything is winding back now. The effects of that flick reset to 0. The monster returns from the void, standing before him as if never touched. Tien finishes the spell. The monster panics, sensing the sheer terror before it. He is startled by how easy it was, his first moment being transcendent. He wonders where the balance went while the monster tries to flee now. But Tien traps it with coordination magic, admitting he feels kind of bad. Because ending that monster's life once just wasn't enough. He opens a portal, tossing it into another dimension entirely. Tien stretches. The bully is stunned, calling the feat incredible. He's amazed Tien managed to sweep away that terrible monster. Our hero shrugs. He didn't kill it, just moved it. The delinquent calls him Mr. Pervert, but admits he's reliable. Tien saved his life. Looking back, that bully was awful. He realizes now that he wasn't exactly being nice before. Seeing him try to help, Tien asks about the bread order. The bully gets scared and tells him to just forget it. As the protagonist walks over, the guy shouts he is fine. He screams that he doesn't need anything, feeling incredibly sorry. He begs for forgiveness, while Tien observes him in silence. He tells the bully to wait, he has business first. Outside, the delinquent sees several monsters attacking the entire city. He screams in fear and begs for someone to save him. Tien repeats his request. The bully asks about the school. The protagonist says he needs to save his parents first. The bully says that's fair, then the protagonist teleports away. He activates his ability and disappears from the school instantly. At home, a commercial about naps is playing on the TV. The mother asks why it seems like only one person. Father replies it is a perfect day until the news interrupts. Seoul is under attack. Everyone is told to evacuate immediately. Startled, Tae-in's father wonders what is happening outside the house. Monsters are fighting to destroy the entire city of Seoul. They wonder what that is. Meanwhile, a monster approaches them. It prepares a power fist while his parents try to hide. Tae-in appears behind the creature and asks what is happening. Then, he uses his inverted gravity ability on the target. The monster begins to levitate, screaming in panic as it rises. He calls his parents, saying he is still the same son. His parents ask why he is there without removing his shoes. He shouts that shoes aren't important after 16 years of care. A son reading Manhwa always worried them, but no more. He says he was chosen as the savior of all humanity. His parents just ask what kind of nonsense he's talking. He mentions how manhwa protagonists act in the face of calamity. These characters get powers to fulfill all their deepest desires. But he wonders if they ever worry about their own parents. He casts several enhancements on them because he is different. They ask what kind of nonsense their son is saying. He says he will protect his parents by creating barriers. This should keep them safe as monsters can't touch them. He ensures his parents are safe from the chaos outside. After saving the world, our hero faces his confused parents who have no idea what he's saying. Tae says goodbye, telling them he loves them before vanishing as they reply. Suddenly, he is back at school. Let's see how this bully reacts to him. Asked about his parents, Tae simply says they are doing just fine now. Relieved, the bully still demands the bread he ordered Tae to buy earlier. Tae just smiles, he can't help himself. Dealing with this jerk was mandatory. As the former victim, it was his duty to teach this punk a lesson. He activates mass summoning magic, scaring the bully half to death. Tae decides it's bun time, telling the bully to stuff his face with them. A flood of food packages buries the bully. He struggles to stand up. Tae calls him weak, giving his performance a measly 7 out of 10. Confused, the bully asks what he did to deserve this kind of treatment. He claims he never did anything truly wrong to warrant this insane reaction. Tae triggers a flashback. Let's see the cold truth. Tae clearly remembers every mocking laugh while he was being beaten down. The smell of his burning uniform, the humiliation of being forced to strip, the taste of school lunch thrown into a toilet and forced down. Despair whenever he saw a padlock on his glasses. Tae asks if he remembers, but the delinquent screams his denial. He admits to the bun, but swears he never did the rest. He claims that Tae never wore any glasses before. Tae asks if he's a liar. The bully's fear starts peaking. Tae accepts the apology and offers him forgiveness now. As a gesture, he offers to transform the bully. The bully thinks of becoming a muscular bodybuilder. Tae fires his shape-shifting magic at the terrified bully. Smoke fills the air. When it clears, he's a bun. The bun asks what happened. Tae just says he looks cute. If he repents, he will return to normal. He repents. Suddenly, a female voice calls out. Uni appears and asks what he's doing. Surprised, Tae turns as she says he's chosen. The bun begs for mercy, while Uni stares in shock. Tae thinks it's cute, but Uni is actually terrified. The world changed, and many people died. The school is empty, and communication lines are down. She was truly afraid of losing her life. How could the protagonist be so happy now? Tae asks if she has ever read a webtoon. They are fun, and there's no need to overthink. We are alone because the author was too lazy. She is confused, so he calls her too boring. She definitely isn't female lead material. Maybe she is actually a story villain. He wonders if he should bring someone else. Our hero decides he needs a new lead. He triggers interdimensional summoning. He figured he just needed a better protagonist. Suddenly, that portal glows. The light is blinding. Yunya panics, but our main character has a plan. He is summoning the most gorgeous and charming woman from all of reality. Even the monsters outside are terrified. As the smoke clears, Iljin is confused. He calls him a pervert, but Tae is busy staring at the girl appearing. She is holding a bloody knife. She glares at our hero through the mist. Tae is frozen in shock. The girl mutters about striking down some guy named Germain. Our main character realizes she is the lead from a noble romance fantasy. You know the type, the lady who seduces the tyrant villain and takes his life. She becomes the new villainess herself. Apparently, her husband was pretty audacious. He called her by name from the start. Nobody had ever been that casual. The lady of House Libert, but Tae cuts the backstory short. He tells her to stop. Nobody gave him permission to change genres. She has to be Lele Layla. He knows the rules of a webtoon. The first 3 chapters are crucial for pacing, bringing in an outside narrative. That would keep them stuck in this school for episodes. Most readers hate a slow story. They will think this comic is dragging. The girl just keeps on talking, though. Tae tells her to stop with all those flowery, glittering romance lines. Layla is offended. Who is this guy to raise his voice at her? They don't even know each other. He just tells her to drop the knife. Tae admits he does not usually read these romance fantasy stories. Layla wonders where she is and why her clothes are so strange. Just a second ago, she was stabbing her husband. Our main character snaps. He tosses her dagger away. He tells her to use magic for the blood. Suddenly, she looks absolutely divine. Yunya and Iljin cannot stop blushing. Layla asks who he is, but Tae turns away. Something is coming. He quickly activates a defensive barrier using his system magic. A monster strikes the school with its staff. It hits the barrier instead. 0 damage. Yun is screaming in terror while Layla is totally lost. What on earth is that? Tae just watches the monster keep swinging. It keeps hitting. The beast screams in total frustration. No results at all. Our hero calls it an idiot, perfect for a quick warm-up. He flies through the window, using only a tiny fraction of his power. He uses an unranked skill called Shock Finger. 1 hit is all. The giant monster is obliterated. The girls cannot believe their eyes. Layla calls it incredible. Un says monsters and magic make no sense. Tae does not care, as long as it is fun, right? He uses a D-rank freezing skill. Every monster is turned into ice. So easy. Now our hero uses a stomp skill to trigger an earthquake. Monsters are crushed. Tae sighs, wondering if he is being too extra. Maybe he got carried away with the destruction. Even holding back is hard. His power levels are way too high. Honestly, he absolutely loves it. The system pings, first monster down, but a whole horde is coming. An endless horde of monsters rushes forward. Tae knows exactly what to do. Imagine a fantasy world of hunters and portals, the absolute best. He activates max speed flight alongside his incredible psionic abilities. Monsters are shredded to pieces as our hero charges forward without stopping. He takes down a final dragon beast and wonders about the portal. Usually, you would have to clear these manually, but he has a shortcut. Why bother with a long fight? He uses his dimensional exile instead. The monsters are warped right through the rift, and it slams shut. They have 0 chance to fight back. He decides to destroy it. He vaporizes the portal entirely. With that, the dimensional exile is done. Taeyeon says Seoul is safe now. Then, he teleports back to school. He finds the girls chatting away. Layla realizes that he is finally back. While he was gone, she was busy listening to everyone's stories here. Apparently, she traveled to the future. Our hero has a better plan. It is not quite that, but he will adjust her to fit this world. He uses his transformation skill, claiming her current outfit is a problem. That dress would be way too hard to draw after a fight. Layla is transformed into casual clothes. Kim Il-jin is instantly head over heels. She demands a cloak immediately. Our hero decides to tie her hair. He says her long hair is too complex, so he ties it. Yuna calls him out, saying she never wanted to know his tastes. Taeyeon tells him to ignore those mean words while they are with friends. He says he just picked something comfy. They are all friends here anyway. Maybe the shorts are a bit much, but Il-jin wants them kept. He begs him not to change it. Our hero tells Miss Lieberschen. He knows it is new for her, but she can wear this style. Yun asks for designer brands like Chanel. He questions her whole character. Layla interrupts. She is no longer Liaber, now she is a royal Klesawatch. That is a noble name, meaning she is actually a princess of royalty. Our hero notes that even tied up, her hair is a mess. Layla says she is not worthy of that name anymore. It is over. She admits the truth. She actually took her own husband's life. He says he is sorry. He does not know her world's tragic story. He has no clue what she means, but he senses the tragedy. He can tell she has lived a hard life, a real tragic hero. But he does not want the details. Layla asks what he means. He guesses she has a terminal illness. She wonders how he knew. An arranged marriage with a man she did not love. Sound familiar? Her husband made a mistake, and things ended in a total disaster. She was falsely accused as a villain right when this all happened. The girl cries because it is all true, every single painful detail. Taein comforts her. She does not have to live that way any longer. Layla killed the prince, but our hero says he attacked her first. He uses the seraphim's blessing, telling her she did nothing wrong. She feels a warm sensation. Taein says he healed her entire body. Her illness is gone. She is no longer on the verge of death. For the first time, Layla felt true freedom, a fresh start. No suffocating father or high society friends, not even her husband, the prince. None of them set her free. Only this mysterious man gave her that. She tearfully thanked him. Suddenly, our hero noticed something new. 33 monsters slain, achievement unlocked just like that. He shrugged it off, but the system had bigger news. The constellations were officially interested in his growth. Sponsorships, elite skills, and top-tier items were all on the table. Tae was confused. Who were these cosmic beings anyway? He ordered them blocked immediately. System error, why refuse this? Honestly, he just wasn't a fan. Time to change. He turned to his friends. Wanna help me save the world? High above, the Celestial Council gathered. Huja Karuna was absolutely furious. How dare a mere human reject a divine favor? He'd never felt so insulted before. Omo Shirai found it very interesting. Oishiku suggested they teach the boy a proper lesson. Enough, Sekai the king stepped in to calm the room. He climbed the Tower of Challenges. He deserves some respect. Muramu of Despair wasn't buying it. He's just a human. Dameda added that he cheated by skipping every floor. I'll go speak with him myself. If he's a threat to the universe, he dies today. Back on Earth, Tae started handing out massive power-ups. But Yun hesitated. Why should she risk her life? Ilg thought she was being dramatic. Taein just smiled. Don't worry, no one dies. Yunya disagreed. With your level, why even involve us? Seriously, she never stops complaining. Soloing everything is just boring. Then a sudden monster attack. One hit, dead. That's the power of the protagonist. The stronger I get, the cooler my friends become. Yunya was lost, but Layla understood the mission perfectly. Save the world, kill the monsters, simple as that. She'd already ended her husband. What's a few monsters? Target locked, time for some fun. The party roll, Layla's destiny. Skill activated, malice unleashed. Daggers flashed, pieces everywhere. The assassin, pure and lethal freedom. Yunya was confused. Tae loved this character arc. A feeling unlike any other. While another, a monster creeps up from behind, tentacles lashing out to attack her. It grabs her. Ilgen screams to save the princess while Yuna urges speed. Hamburger charges forward while our main character cheers, thinking about his own role. Ilgen focuses and lands a massive headbutt on the creature, but nothing happens. He complains that his skill is useless. He is just a mascot, apparently. He begs the hero for a better power, while Leia thanks Hamburger. Ilgen plays it off like nothing. Tae just smiles, calling it all fun. With one swift motion, he slashes the beast. Yuna is completely speechless. Tae tells her it is her turn, but Yuna immediately shuts him down. She refuses to fight. Meanwhile, he is insanely strong and can manipulate time. Chosen by the gods, he has the unique power to rewind reality itself. He can fix things before everything broke. People out here are barely surviving. Everyone is living on the edge of death, yet he prioritizes having fun. Tae confirms this instantly. He says that one day, she will understand too. In this crazy world, you and I can see that fun is everything. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifts. Our hero shouts, a bird monster is diving in. Yuna is supposed to use magic, but she just grips her staff tightly. She swings that staff with extreme force, launching the monster into the distance. Everyone is stunned. Yuna is a beast. Iljin says she looks like a pro. He thinks she is a baseball player. She mentions training when she was little. Tae complains about not knowing her secret skill until he senses something off. He whips around to block a spell, wondering which monster is attacking now. A mysterious man steps forward, impressed that anyone could deflect energy bare-handed. He is amazed someone countered his powerful chi. Tae recognizes him immediately. The stranger is shocked to find an unknown master lurking in the east. Tae drops a bombshell. The man is the legendary heavenly demon, Cheon-ma. Cheon-ma is confused. How could this stranger possibly know his true identity? Tae says he is a huge fan. Yuna is baffled by this creep. Tae tells Yuna to search his webtoon. He is a legendary martial villain. He is the iconic absolute villain. Cheon-ma tells him he talks too much. He suspects the massive energy from the east was actually this man's doing. Tae asks if he means the shockwave that slammed into the eastern peninsula. The demon confirms it. He explains how martial arts have deteriorated over centuries. Humans became weak and boring. He lost all interest in this peaceful world. He is recreating heaven and earth now, which is why monsters finally appeared. He was thrilled when they fell from the sky, bringing back beautiful chaos. He was loving the chaos until that massive energy blast hit from the east. It was a level of danger he had never felt. He uses a seal. The heavenly demon god's extreme seal. A burst of power slams into Tae. Tae does not even flinch. He just dissipates the attack like it is nothing. Cheon-ma is floored by that power, but things are only getting crazier. He watches as the destructive energy vanishes into thin air before him. The shock on the demon's face is real. This power is absolutely insane. Suddenly, everything begins returning to normal. Cheon-ma has just witnessed the impossible phenomenon of time reversal. He was rebuilding everything that lay in ruins. This was the work of a master. Pure mastery. His instincts took over, and he was literally walking across the water. Crossing entire oceans and continents just like that, he finally arrived on the scene. Yunya is stunned. Ignoring the fact he just crossed the South China Sea on foot, she wonders how this Chinese master speaks such perfect Korean. Taein just starts complaining. It actually made sense. Cheon-ma challenges the mysterious Eastern master, promising certain death. But Taein is just fanboying. He thinks meeting the real heavenly demon is incredibly cool. Cheon-ma lets out a dark laugh. He decides it is time to have some fun. The girls have a bad feeling about this. They really do not want this fight. Cheon-ma unleashes his demonic energy, firing the heavenly dragon palm straight at Taein. Boom, a massive explosion rocks the area, but Taein suddenly appears right behind him. He whispers that the attack was way too slow. Cheon-ma spins around in shock. Taein admits he always wanted to do that, teleport behind a guy and act cool. Using that deep voice was his dream. He has awakened, feeling stronger than ever before. He wants to test Cheon-ma's true power, because that last move looked epic. Cheon-ma is just confused. He turns away, claiming he has lost all interest now. He decides hunting monsters is a better use of his time. This was a waste. Iljin sees right through him. He knows those are just weak excuses for his failure. His technique failed completely. Cheon-ma looks at Korea and sees nothing but weaklings. The idea of such a pathetic place, surviving just leaves him feeling totally hopeless. But Taein stops him. He warns the celestial demon that he just crossed the line. He usually doesn't care, but this isn't just any place. This is the Republic of Korea. Cheon-ma recoils instantly. He mutters that this feeling is completely and utterly impossible. He can't even sense Taein's presence anymore. Desperate, he tries one last palm strike. He launches his energy at Taein. Our hero just stands there, watching it come closer. He casually blocks the massive attack with a simple stone, but Chaeyon-ma isn't finished. He traps Taeyeon in a cage of demonic energy. Yunya screams out in total panic. The demon brags about his ultimate technique that can literally compress all of space. Taeyeon just breaks out and stretches. He actually finds the whole experience pretty refreshing. Chaeyon-ma is stunned. Taeyeon admits it was annoying, but still looked incredibly cool. Then comes the shocker. Taeyeon asks the legendary demon to become his new companion. The demon is insulted. He spent centuries perfecting his skills, and this brat is joking. Even though none of his moves worked, he's still the #1 under the heavens. He refuses to lose to some kid. Taeyeon just tilts his head at that title. He suddenly gets a mischievous idea. He looks at Chaeyon-ma with a wicked grin. "Your normal life is over," he says. Suddenly, he activates a strange and powerful ability. It's a transformation skill. Iljun is panicking, wondering what Taeyeon is actually doing. The smoke engulfs Chaeyon-ma. He coughs, demanding to know what kind of trick this is. Suddenly, his voice hits a high pitch. His entire appearance has become totally feminine. The whole group is frozen. Taeyeon announces that Chaeyon-ma isn't the strongest man anymore. Now, she's the strongest woman under the heavens. Chaeyon-ma is absolutely losing her mind. She screams, asking what that bastard did. Yunya calls Taeyeon a total pervert for this. Taeyeon just sighs. Gender-swapping a cool character used to be a classic trope, right? For some reason, you don't see it much lately. Yuna tries to voice her protest. But he shuts her down immediately. He tells her to keep her mouth shut and stay quiet. Chaeyon-ma stomps toward our lead, her eyes burning as she demands her body back. But Taeyeon just shuts her up with a playful, yet very solid, head bonk. He teases her, saying it's been ages since she felt a hit like that. Then he gets serious. If she ever acts out again, he won't be gentle. Yuna's heart breaks for her, calling him a total villain for hitting a lady. Our hero just smirks. Hey, he officially gained another member for his weird team. Poor Chaeyon-ma is left wondering if she's stuck as a little nun forever. Taeyeon tells them to play nice and hunt some nearby monsters for a while. He calls it easy before using his teleportation. It's time to save the world. With a confident smirk, he announces that the world's savior has finally arrived. The girls are left staring in silence, wondering what they're supposed to do now. Meanwhile, things are looking grim over at the White House emergency room in Washington. The experts are panicking. There's no time to debate. Humanity is facing extinction. A quick decision is needed. The president even considers nuking their own territory. But the Secretary of Defense says no amount of conventional weapons can stop this. Once that gate stays open, the endless flood of monsters will be impossible to handle. The president slams his desk, cursing the hellish situation they're currently facing. He wishes the bombs could at least clear the gates, but Taeyeon suddenly interrupts. He promises to handle everything, leaving the president stunned. Who is this random guy? Our lead introduces himself as the Korean pervert and the savior of the world. The room goes silent before guards aim their guns, demanding to know his business. Taeyeon tells them to just listen, but they're already panicking and ready to fire. Someone orders him to surrender. Taeyeon just complains that this is getting really annoying. Guards call him a monster, but the president tells everyone to wait. Shots are fired, but the security team doesn't even get to see him move. He stops every bullet in midair with one hand. Now they have to listen. He laughs, telling them that after this, they have to trust him completely now. His first demand: get rid of every single nuclear weapon they currently possess. The president is shocked. That's not something they can just agree to do. So Taeyeon uses his mass manipulation, instantly turning everyone in the room into puppets. They've become like zombies as the president mindlessly picks up the emergency phone. He broadcasts code 389 to NASA. The order is clear: launch everything. The staff is terrified of the order, but they have no choice but to obey. Missiles begin to fire. The exact number of warheads is still a total mystery. At that moment, roughly 8,000 nuclear units are screaming into the sky. It's time for our hero to act. He finally activates his invisible hand ability. A massive, unseen palm reaches out to grab those weapons right out of midair. Next up is his replicate skill. Now, every single missile is under his control. Taein demands every last one to be gathered up. He's not leaving any behind. Then comes the final command. Every nuke is redirected straight toward the portal. The massive arsenal begins its journey, flying directly into the heart of the gate. Taein orders every missile to be gathered up. He's not leaving a single one. Then he commands the entire massive arsenal to be launched right at the portal. The weapons fly toward the gate as Taein celebrates his absolute victory. Meanwhile, over in Moscow, the Supreme Council watches the footage in total disbelief. The United States was ready to go nuclear, desperate to strike back. But then Taein showed up, claiming it wasn't necessary. Everyone opened fire. He just blocked everything again. The guards stood there, completely stunned. What just happened? Meanwhile, the secretary reported that every portal was gone. Portals cleared. Taein appeared again, casually announcing he'd saved the world. He even thanked them for trusting him and firing those nukes. The president was baffled, but Taein explained those nukes didn't actually hit reality. The portals simply vanished. Suddenly, everyone was hailing this Korean hero. Still, Taein warned them, monsters are still out there, so stay sharp. Do your best, he said, before teleporting away and leaving America behind. Good luck, United States. Back in Korea, Cheon-ma was busy kicking monsters. She was doing great. The girls finally noticed him, and Yuna's eyes went wide. Do you have any idea how many times we almost died? She demanded. Then the missiles hit and blew up the portal. They wanted answers. Taein just nodded, saying Il-jin was doing his job, but they needed more. Specifically, they needed a tank. Suddenly, boom, a massive explosion rocked everything. Dust flew everywhere as the girls shielded their eyes from the blast. A constellation appeared, declaring that this earthly transcendent had broken the natural order. She was Yudorini of justice, and she was here to deliver a verdict. Judgment time. The group was shocked, but Taein, he just saw a potential tank. Cheon-ma could feel it, the raw energy of a true master. He told her to stay back and immediately started questioning the system. What about those divine seats? Then he remembered the system's strict gag order. All talk of constellations was banned. This had to be a misunderstanding. Look, I don't hate constellations, he thought. I'm just busy killing monsters. But Yudorini wasn't having it. To her, the problem was humanity's lack of sacrifice. It was all his fault. Taein had to ask, wait, not enough sacrifice. Portals are opening, monsters are everywhere, and people are dying. Isn't that enough? All this chaos, this was the work of the constellations themselves. Yudorini confirmed it. Right then, the system triggered a lore dump. World explanation incoming. See, every living thing in the universe produces energy. Constellations need this energy to survive. They call it entropy. They farm it. The smarter the species, the more energy they harvest. To increase the yield, they create trials to force species to grow. Some get stronger and provide more energy. It is a cosmic cycle. The weak are just wiped out to make room for something better. But Taein broke the rules. He cleared the tutorial way too fast. Now humanity missed their chance to evolve together. The constellations were watching. They wanted a show, but Taein blocked their view. They are not happy. So she came down herself to pass judgment. Taein just scoffed. This is ridiculous. You can't just drop a massive exposition bomb like that. It went from fantasy to sci-fi way too fast. Absolute madness. Yuna's totally lost. Taein calls for Il-jin and asks for a summary. Give me the 3-line version, he says. Our hamburger friend is ready. Skip button lovers, listen up. Here's the deal. Constellations are just cosmic parasites. Portals and chaos energy were everywhere until our hero stepped in to stop them. After hearing their insane plan, Taein realizes these people have completely lost their minds. Layla is ready to fight, but Cheon-ma stops her, warning they are outclassed. This is way above her level. Right then, Taein finally triggers his void emergence ability. He starts reshaping that raw energy, molding it into a lethal space sword. Charging straight at Yudorini, he tells her to get ready to take this strike. Look, Taein has zero patience for these constellation types, so he's not holding back. His sword class ability kicks in, sending dozens of reality-cutting slashes flying at her. She doesn't even flinch, drawing her own weapon and blocking every strike with ease. Taein is stunned. His blade usually erases everything, yet she just swatted it away. The constellation mocks him, saying this transcendent of Earth is simply no match. Our main character hits the ground and asks if that's really all she has. Time to go big. He activates his planetary explosion skill, and the power is blinding. The strike illuminates her face as it surpasses the atmosphere and erases everything nearby. It clears everything in Taein's path, but Yudorine merely blocks and stays calm. She actually says it wasn't bad. You and I can see the massive power gap. He needs a counterattack. He decides multicasting is the only way to create a crisis. He tells the girl to move so they can create a dopamine-fueled action scene together. But then, disaster. In a split second, Taein notices his own hand has completely vanished. Yudorine coldly tells him to just accept her judgment and find some peace. He screams in pain. His hand is gone, but he quickly triggers time reversal. It's fine, he thinks. He'll just rewind time as many times as it takes to win. He'll keep going back until he's ready, but then he spots something totally impossible. Yudorine is still moving. She explains that cosmic beings are immune to time distortions. Space and time mean nothing to her. Now, this is where things get truly desperate. Taein tells the others to stay back. This person is on a completely different level. He even starts questioning the author. Why would anyone write a character this broken? Yudorine is done playing games. She tells Taein that his time is officially up. He has to face her judgment, but he just asks what kind she's speaking of. That's when she reveals it, the scale of justice, a legendary tool Taein recognizes instantly. It's a terrifying sight. She explains how the scales weigh the values of each side. Everything is calculated by the universe. The laws of reality are literally on the line. Honestly, the main character is tired of the talking, so she decides to show him. She's going to weigh his entire existence, the good he's done versus the universal threat. She wonders which side will be heavier. The fate of the world hangs here. Taein asks which side represents what. As they watch, the scales start to tip. It's not looking good. The scale leans toward him being a major problem for order. She warns him that his power is a problem, and the scale never lies. Since the scale says he is a threat, she has to suppress him now. The protagonist goes quiet for a second, then he suddenly breaks into a wide smile. He says if those scales can judge anything, then he has a great suggestion. Yudorine agrees, noting that from her perspective, most human issues are just trivial matters. So he makes a deal. Before she leaves, she should solve humanity's greatest problem. He wants her to weigh it on those scales. The constellation is actually curious now. You and I have to wonder what insane value he wants her to weigh. Taein wanted to test something. Yunya watched, wondering what he was thinking. He tells her not to worry, this is actually fun for him. Our hero cannot resist a game. He asks which story is better. Is 99 reinforced stick better, or what can I do alone? The girls are totally lost. Even Iljin has no idea what he means. Yudorine asks him to repeat that. He just wants to know which webtoon wins. Yunya is confused. He asks if she is seriously living without webtoons. He jokes she should sell her brain to him right now. She fires back that a brain is not something you can just sell. He laughs, saying he could just wipe his own memories with a skill. Iljin tells the goddess to ignore him. He is just a total webtoon nerd. Yudorine is still confused. Our main character explains they are the ultimate invention. The goddess is not impressed. She does not care about trivial human emotions. Taein sighs. For a powerful being, she really knows nothing about this world. He tells her that nothing matters more than having a good time. Fine, he decides to dumb it down to her level for a moment. The atmosphere shifts. Yudorine notices his mood has suddenly turned very serious. He reminds her she is the goddess of justice and universal order. She confirms this. Breaking that order would lead to a total cosmic disaster. The consequences would be impossible to predict. Tyen has a counterpoint, though. He argues her logic is flawed, sacrificing him for an outcome she cannot predict. The goddess is stunned. She has no answer for that kind of logic. He knows her next move, arguing that small sacrifices are for the greater good. From a cosmic view, her idea of order is actually quite biased. Her scales of judgment are not as fair as she might believe. It might look right from space, but to a human, it is unjust. She asks if he thinks he is more important than the whole universe. He explains it is about the principle of being forced into a sacrifice. It is a matter of what is actually right versus what is wrong. Now you and I need to watch these scales. Two weights appear. The balance shifts. It tips heavily toward the side of the unjust. Yunya gasps. The result is so obvious it cannot be ignored. The goddess is frozen in shock. She did not see this coming. Tyen asks if she still plans to treat him like some cosmic threat. Eudorina finally admits it. She realizes she was being incredibly unfair to him. Layla is impressed. She realizes Mr. Tyen is actually a total genius. Yunya is still catching up. She has no clue what just happened. Justice is subjective. It all depends on where you are standing. He decides to make an offer to the goddess of justice herself. If she is so worried about the order, she should just watch him. Stay by his side. He never wanted to mess with the universe anyway. He only gets mad when humanity is attacked. Helping others is her duty. Eudorina is floored by his logic. She agrees it is a perfect solution. She gives him her word. She will stay right by his side now. And just like that, he tamed a goddess. Incredible, right? With pure charisma, he turned her into an ally. But Tyen isn't finished yet. He asks her straight up, was it fair for constellations to invade Earth? To just open portals and slaughter humanity? Udurianai is completely speechless. She looks away, then summons two spheres and weighs them on a scale. The human side drops. It is the truth. Eudorianai can only sigh. Our main character is getting annoyed now. Suddenly, she takes off into the sky. She flies straight into space, casting a massive spell to end the invasions. Everywhere, the chaos stops. A giant elephant monster chasing humans simply freezes. The humans look back in shock. The beast has vanished, along with every other monster. They are all gone. Eudoriana completes her legendary sacred purification magic. The spell is finished. Layla watches as a brilliant light blinds the entire world. Everyone is dazzled. Kyan Ma notices that all demonic energy has suddenly evaporated. Not a trace remains. Our hero expected nothing less from a literal constellation. This was easily one of the most epic moments of the whole story. Eudorianai feels like she was played, but our main character just brushes it off. Saving the planet was just part of the deal. Plus, he scored a top-tier ally. His party just got a massive power boost, but then things get a bit awkward. Udurini starts changing right there. Everyone turns bright red at her outfit. Tyen panics, asking what she is doing. She just wanted to ditch her heavy armor. No battle, no armor. Our hero quickly uses magic to give her a casual outfit. He thinks she looks stunning, but Udure is not impressed with zero defense. She doesn't get why she should wear this and starts stripping the shirt off. He has to shout at her to keep her clothes on. Stay dressed, please. Udurianai grumbles that humans make zero sense. Then, the system chimes in. It calls Tyen a total pervert. Apparently, the other constellations are beyond furious. They are outraged that even the constellation of justice has been tainted by him. Tyen doesn't care. He's ready to go and crush every single one of them. But wait, the system says the Tower Master wants a personal meeting with him first. Eudorianai mentions the rumors about the Tower Master being behind this whole mess. He's the one who gave powers to all the wrong people. It's time for answers. The system prepares to escort him straight to the dimension of eternal night. Tyen tells the system to hold on. He's not going anywhere without his team. He finally made some great friends, and he's not about to leave them behind. But Chan Ma points out they were basically kidnapped by his selfish decisions. Layla is confused, asking where they are even going. Tyen just plays it cool. He pretends the system is just doing its own thing. Time to move out. He tells the system to hurry up. the teleport to the dark dimension begins. A blinding flash of light hits the group, and just like that, they vanish. They are pulled through the void and arrive at a massive castle instantly. Yun is lost, wondering where they ended up. Iljin just feels super dizzy. Tyan figures they must be at the very top of the testing tower now. Suddenly, the tower master himself welcomes them. He is honored to have such guests. He calls this old place dilapidated. Then, he introduces himself as Sugashi Nujo. The master of the tower is here. It's been a long time since he's seen visitors. He looks over at the companions too. This meeting is about to get intense. How dare these insects enter his sacred home? He's ready to break them. Terrifying power radiates from him, paralyzing the entire group with pure fear. One girl cries for her mother, while Iljin just wishes for a burger. She's literally dreaming of a hamburger bun before she meets her end. Tyan just smiles. This is their first big boss battle as a full team. To our main character, this feels like a video game. He's actually having fun. Layla is shocked he wants to fight, while Yun just wants to go home. Yun is totally done. She's ready to bail and head straight back home. He tells them to trust the team, but then Sugashi suddenly grabs him. How dare he reach the summit without even climbing the floors like everyone else? Tyan wonders if he's about to get humiliated yet again. Slammed, Sugashi pins him down, fuming at the disrespect from this mere human. He starts listing every flaw: arrogant, selfish, and just plain stubborn. Add irresponsible and vulgar to that long list of insults. Tae just sighs, how much longer is this guy gonna talk? Sugashi claims he's totally self-centered, before blasting him with pure energy. That shock really starts hurting our main character. He can't help but groan from all the damage. Sugashi wants years of payback for his pain, and he's going to enjoy it. The girls on the team are absolutely frozen in shock. The tower master mocks them. They're all about to lose their lives here. Suddenly, Cheon-ma warns him that he's the one heading to hell. She blurs behind him, activating her celestial demon destruction seal. The hit connects. Sugashi just laughs and calls it totally unfair. He deflects it easily, surprised she survived without being a transcendent being. Too bad, he tells her to curse the pervert who brought her here. He almost feels pity for her seeing such a pathetic display. A constellation steps in, arguing this isn't how you treat a tower conqueror. Sugashi replies that he only serves the stars. Even Wrath finds this man annoying. He says he's just doing his duty. Just fulfilling his responsibility. Our hero wonders about this constellation of wrath. Yud Rianai thinks the Tower Master has a point. At this point, everyone thinks today is their final day. But Taein isn't giving up. No one is dying today. He rips free. The Tower Master can't believe his eyes. How did he escape that absolute authority? Our hero calls him out for being too arrogant. In these battle stories, it's natural for the hero to strike back after taking hits. He channels power into Cheon-ma. She's confused by the sudden surge. Don't forget this feeling, he tells her firmly. Feeling close to death simply means that they are absolutely not going to lose. Especially when it's written in red. Yudu-rini finds the whole situation unbelievable. A mere human, matching the power of the Tower Master so effortlessly. Sugashi admits he underestimated his opponent, but he's not finished quite yet. One thing was certain, his friends were about to die, so he unleashed his energy. Our hero parried the strike, calling it a cheap shot to target his allies. Sugashi was absolutely floored. How did he become this terrifyingly strong? He was easily 10,000 times more powerful than ever before. Finally, he gets his big moment. He only used 1/1,000,000th of his power. That monster banging on the school window, just a tiny warm-up for him. Hyped about his awakening, our main character begins his introduction. But then, he capped his own strength. System alert, limits released to 100%. Iljin could blast continents away, but this monster felt totally different. Tyan apologizes. This guy is too strong to waste any more screen time on. He triggers his shock hit, piercing Sugashi twice in a flash. The Tower Master is speechless. Our hero warns that his stubborn selfishness ends right here. He screams at Yudu Rianai, Her power came from him after all. Surpassing him should have been impossible. He begs for mercy, but Taein punches his face for being so irresponsible. "Clean up your own mess, you annoying little bastard." Sagashi screams in agony, warning that chaos will consume the tower. The universal order is about to break. But our hero just cuts him in half, truly annoying. Spitting blood, he fades away with a final warning. Regret, maybe, but a super boss just went down. Yudo is stunned. How did he move with that much speed? She couldn't even react in time. He apologizes for worrying his friends. They yell at him for being so irresponsible. But wait, he is not done talking yet. This selfishness will haunt him. The girls are totally unimpressed. He checks the new system notification. First cosmic entity defeated. Time for our main character to ascend. A massive power upgrade. This actually sounds fun. How many more phases are even left? Yudo asks if he even understands what happened. By killing the master, he made every constellation his enemy. Should he just die like Sagashi wanted? Not a chance. It doesn't matter if the whole universe is against him. He has Yudo by his side. Since when, he changes the subject. He wants to find the constellation of Wrath now. Is he seriously going to fight? No, he just wants to try talking first. She sighs. Yuna thinks he is an idiot. But Iljin knows this is her man. Together, they will protect the peace of the entire universe. Justice is served, but it is time to head home. The light hits the group once more and begins to teleport them out of the tower. Taein and Yudo are suddenly not affected by spacetime, appearing in a completely different place. Talk about a detour. The protagonist asks where they are, and Yudo recognizes the place immediately. Telling him it is the room of the constellation of Wrath, Karuna, we are in big trouble. The girls comment that it is very hot. They are in the center of a volcano. Yunya asks why Taein keeps dragging them along. She has a real point there. He replies that having them around gives him strength. The girls tell him to stop. Only Layla actually believes his smooth talk, while Yuna asks why she is so gullible. Karuna begins to laugh hysterically, leaving everyone stunned by his overwhelming power. Yudina grabs her armor as Karuna calls them bold insects for entering his domain. Suddenly, he drops to the ground, causing an explosion that levels everything in his path. He strikes Eudorina's sword, calling her an insolent fool. The pressure is absolutely insane. She tries to resist and calls out his name. The constellation just smiles, saying it has been a long time since they last met. But then, a fist hits him hard. Our hero punches him, telling the deity not to touch his friends. What a boss move. His colleagues are absolutely impressed. Yud is left wondering what happened to him. Taein tells her not to thank him. He was just trying to protect her from Hyuga. The girl explains that Karuna simply cannot control his anger. He lives for violence. He was born with a tendency to destroy everything. We even see a quick flashback. Karuna arrives at a new planet. He admits the scenery is actually quite beautiful. It is the kind of place that would awaken admiration in anyone, but not him. Instead, he feels a surge of rage, because he only discovered this planet just now. He slams the ground with all his strength, literally destroying the world in an instant. From one side to the other, everything is gone. He just cannot help being angry. He complains that he always gets this way. He is just a ball of rage. Our protagonist looks at him and comments that he is just a big, stupid person. That really did it. Karuna screams, asking how an insect dares touch him. The lava begins to expand. Udini says they are in trouble because of this dimension. It is integrated with Karuna's mood. If he explodes, the whole crater goes too. The lava is made of the obsidian of Wrath, which incinerates everything. Taein just shrugs. He asks if they are only in trouble if the lava rises. He has a plan. He prepares to calm the deity quickly, activating his absolute zero magic. Total flex. The deity is frozen solid by the ice, but he breaks free almost immediately after. Yunya says it is useless. He is the form of Wrath itself. You can't stop him. But Tyan shouts that there were way too many explanations. He is done with the talking. He lunges forward, clashing his fist directly against Hyuga Karuna's. The impact is absolutely massive. Tyan can feel the guy's insane strength. This is power he has never faced before. This constellation is on a totally different level than the previous tower master. Hyuga Karuna actually likes the freezing sensation. It feels good, but he is still angry. Tyan has no idea what he is saying. Suddenly, the system triggers the empathy skill. The two are instantly connected. Hyuga Karuna is shocked, wondering what this power is. Yudo Rianai tells Tyan to stop. She warns him about the danger of the link. But Tyan replies that he is fine. He will try to calm the beast. He stays connected, hoping you and I get to see him survive this massive eruption. Hyuga Karuna admits he is sensing things inside his mind he has never experienced. It feels good, yet the rage is taking over. Yud Rianai knows Tyan is in trouble. Pure anger will swallow him whole. Yuna is terrified, but then Tyan breaks loose. Something is wrong here. Tyan actually apologizes for blocking those messages earlier. He swung first, sure, but now he just wants to settle this like civilized people. No talking aloud. Hyuga Karuna sends a massive fist straight for Tyan's face. Too much chatter for a total failure, Karuna sneers. Tyan, a failure, he wonders. Karuna grabs him by the throat. Apparently, Tyan's entropy value is just too low. That is why Karuna wants to erase him. Yud Rianai watches in pure horror. She asks Karuna if the portal was never a test, but a way to kill them. Pure extermination. Karuna confirms it with a grin. Tyan, he is just plain annoyed. Enough with the talking. All these long explanations are starting to hurt his ears. Time for action. Tyan triggers Ascension Stage 1. Karuna does not see it coming. Planet Buster skill activated. Karuna is sent flying. Tyan says this is nothing. He is destined to be the lead in the greatest webtoon of all time. Karuna tumbles through the air. How can a mere insect have this much power? Rivaling a god who surpassed 10 stars? Impossible. Tyan looks in a mirror. His hair and eyes have shifted. This is it, the first purple stage. Karuna charges toward the planet. He lets out a roar like a falling meteor. I will end you today, he screams. Tyan is over all the dramatic shouting. Shut up already, Tyan growls, burying his fist deep into Karuna's gut. Cut it out, Karuna is in shock. He blocks, but his power feels useless. He gave his all and got nothing. Tyan steps forward once again. Stop with the screaming. Tyan keeps repeating it as he moves in. He starts tearing Karuna apart. Look, just fall down quietly, okay? This was supposed to be fun. With that, Tyan tosses him aside like trash. Karuna blacks out and hits the dirt right by the heroes. Yudu is stunned. A constellation, beaten by a human, the cosmic order is falling apart. Absolute chaos. But wait, Karuna gets back up, laughing like a maniac. He says this is fun and he should have done this sooner. Tyan hesitates. Is this already phase 2? A laughing villain is never a good sign. It is not good at all. Karuna notes that Tyan's friends look half dead. Tyan snaps at him to shut it. He turns and sees the girls. They have collapsed from the extreme heat. Yudu explains that Karuna is fueling this. His rage turns up the temperature and boosts his power. Karuna laughs again. Why bother with these insects? They will all be extinct soon anyway. Tyan pushes back against the aura. You are talking nonsense, he spits back. You cannot stop the end. Karuna warns that the plan is already in motion. He is going to spread a rage virus across the whole world. Tyan is confused. What are you talking about? Karuna just smiles wickedly. Every single soul on Earth will be infected. They will lose their minds. They will tear each other apart until nothing is left. Tyan is furious. He screams Karuna's name at the top of his lungs. Yudu Ray panics. The volcano is erupting. They need to teleport out of there right now. But Tyan stays. He winds up his fist for one final strike. No time left. He was already caught in the teleportation beam of light. The volcano dimension exploded behind them. Tyan cursed Hyuga Karuna under his breath. Taeyeon warned they had to reach Earth to stop the rabies virus now. Udu Rianai replied she was already on her way. Tae felt this test wasn't a fair chance at all. It was just a one-sided slaughter. Was this truly justice? Light split the sky as they arrived on Earth. The heroes appeared. Tae immediately used his powers to heal his injured friends. He asked if they were okay, feeling terrible that all this was his fault. Then he noticed it. A human infected with rabies was standing right beside him. He dodged the bite easily, wondering what on earth was happening to the world. 100 more zombies began to advance toward the group of protagonists. Tae realized this was the trial. The constellation of wrath brought the apocalypse. Humans are creatures of purpose. We explore and understand the world around us. Biologically, we are primates. High intelligence and social bonds are what define us. We are social animals that build complex structures just to interact with others. But if we lose our minds and society collapses, are we still human? A new name would take over. We would simply be called zombies instead. Due to this virus, humanity was being transformed into nothing more than monsters. The girls were confused. Suddenly, more zombies lunged straight toward poor Yunya. Taein stepped in front to protect her. This shouldn't be happening, he growled. He unleashed a massive electric current. High voltage surged through the entire crowd. The zombies were electrocuted. Panicked, they fell to the ground in a heap. This is how you handle them. You shock them back to their senses. They would return to normal. Then he turned to ask if Yun was okay. She wasn't grateful. She asked what he was doing and if this was a game. Tae tried to stop her, but she was already charging at him again. She slapped his face hard. "You're out of your mind," she screamed at him. "Do you know how many times we've almost died just by being near you?" He always wanted to save her, but she just complained about the danger. "You never should have brought us to a place like this in the first place." They had been burning in hell, terrified of dying without ever seeing their parents. A pathetic end. She asked if he had any idea how horrible that felt. "You wouldn't want to experience it. If this is for fun, go to hell. We are just tools to you, just a way to prove your own abilities. You should have done this alone. We're just burdens in your grand plan. Are we even your companions? You take lives without a single second thought. None of this is fun. You treat our lives like they don't even matter." Tae looked away. "That is just how these zombie stories usually go," he said. Unscreamed in rage, "Why are you talking like this? These people are sick. They are just infected. You have to save them all," she cried out. Tae fell silent for a moment, then he looked her in the eye. "Do you really think I'm crazy enough to murder all of these people? I only paralyzed them with an electric shock. They are still very much alive. If they get treatment, they will recover. I'm not some heartless killer." But Tae was exhausted. He was tired of always being criticized for everything. Another enemy appears, and the girls have no clue what Taein is saying. Taein tells Unrai that no matter how annoying it is, he won't go further. Suddenly, Oh warns him about a zombie behind him, making Taein spin around. He complains that the zombie startled him with that bite before using magic. He traps it and admits he was truly shaken. Hwa worries he'll turn. Taein tells her not to worry, claiming it is just a tiny, insignificant virus. He tries his amazing healing magic, but the wound refuses to regenerate. He wonders what's happening and tries the Seraphim's blessing, but it also fails. Yuduinai says there's no choice, since the virus has the power of constellations. She cannot interfere and tells him to chop his arm off immediately. He needs to do it now, before the rage consumes his entire mind. But the protagonist asks what she's talking about, since he's already totally enraged. Yudu activates her sword skill, but the protagonist begs her not to. He says this makes no sense for a protagonist, especially since he's too strong. It's getting hard to advance the story. This feels like a forced balancing act. He lets out a massive roar of rage, and the zombies respond to his call. Yudu says she regrets this outcome, but Cheon-ma suddenly cuts her off. She begs them not to kill him. She insists on turning him back first. Cheon-ma says she must save him, and Iljin agrees with the plan. Layla warns that the zombies are closing in, as Yudu tells them to move. She claims it's for cosmic order. Cheon-ma prepares to fight the horde. But Yunya stops them, saying they have no time for these silly arguments. They must find safety, before this pervert transforms into something much more dangerous. Iljan asks how they can escape with such a massive zombie crowd surrounding them. Yuna says it'll be fine and asks Yudoranai to help them reach safety. The zombies continue to close in as the group makes their move. They finally stop at the school. Yudoranai traps Tyin in an ethereal prison chair. With him secured, the girls start wondering what they should do next. Layla feels bad for Tyin, thinking that killing Hua Karuna might stop the virus. Yudu Rini says that's impossible because they are protected by the cosmic order. Constellations do not just die, but there is a special way to annihilate them. Kaeon Ma watches the delirious Tyin and thinks acupuncture might be the answer. She claims she can fix him and prepares to hit his vital points. She strikes his points, but Tyin suddenly spits out a massive amount of blood. Cheon Ma is left bewildered. Iljan remarks that Tyin is a total mess. Yudor Rianai asks if they really think simple tricks work on constellations. But Tyin says he feels alive because the blood flow in his brain improved. Yudor Rianai is shocked by this, while Cheon Ma starts to boast. Layla urges him to regain his senses, but he says he's losing it again. He wonders what the point was in creating a main character like this. With no abilities left, he starts to ponder the author's true intentions. Suddenly, he realizes something and declares he knows what is coming next. He warns them about the next episode and says he's prepared to face it. The girls can only watch as their protagonist struggles to keep his sanity. Something big is coming, and it might just change the rules of this world. You and I have seen this 1,000 times, a hero facing death. Screaming for his friends to escape, his girl cries, reminding him of their promise. But the green-haired guy reveals the truth. He's already been bitten by the infected. He begs her to survive alone. It's a classic, heartbreaking farewell for any protagonist. She won't accept it and the chapter ends. Tae is a sobbing mess. He knows the sacrifice is a total trope, but the tears just won't stop. So he drops a 10-star rating and a comment praising such incredible, noble altruism. He thinks that kind of self-sacrifice is something you just can't learn in school. He keeps slurping his noodles. Suddenly, Tae feels inspired. He thinks he can do it. He declares that before he turns into a zombie, he'll sacrifice himself for them. The girls are totally confused. He explains this is how a hero's story ends. It's the perfect tragic ending, but Layla isn't having any of it. She snaps. Why on earth would he die when they're all insanely strong and perfectly fine? Tae tries to argue his point, but Yunya cuts him off with a glare. She tells him to stop playing the martyr. Seriously, it's getting old and quite annoying. They aren't helpless damsels who need his protection just to survive a few zombies. Tae is stunned. This isn't how the plot is supposed to go at all. But looking around, she's right, these zombies are actually kind of a joke. Since everyone is infected, there's zero thrill in finding other survivors. It's boring. If the goal is just killing zombies, maybe they should just end everyone's misery. He needs to figure out the real goal before his brain starts short-circuiting again. Layla mentions she's starving, and Kaeon Ma admits she hasn't eaten all day. Yun is hungry too, which is weird given the apocalypse, but they all eye Iljan. He screams at them to stop looking at him like he's on the menu. Kaeon Ma jokingly suggests he sacrifice himself as emergency food. Iljan is absolutely terrified. He begs them to stay back and just follow him. He has a better idea. Kaeon Ma agrees to wait. Iljan points towards something and look, it's actual food. There's enough hamburger bread for everyone, but Yunya looks at it with pure disgust. Kaeon Ma says just shut up and eat. Yunya notices the burger looks weird. It's literally missing half the meat. Layla wonders if they're eating Iljan's actual friends. Would he ever forgive them? Iljan quickly clarifies, those burgers are definitely not friends. So the three girls dig in. To be honest, they've never tasted anything like this. For characters from medieval Europe or ancient China, this snack is a total revelation. That corporate Korean flavor, it's dangerously addictive. They can't get enough of it. Inside, Yudoranai checks on Tyin. He thanks her for keeping him under control. She tells him no thanks are needed. He shouldn't have gone to see Huja Karuna. Now he's destined to suffer until his final breath. Our hero wonders what to do. But the constellation won't let him fade away. She's seen the unfairness of it. She wants to correct the balance. What the constellations did to him wasn't right. Tae is touched. He thanks her for finally realizing the truth of the situation. Eudoranite knows she can endure this pain a bit longer. There must be a way to resolve this. Plus, he has loyal companions who would never dream of leaving his side. The girls walk in, raving about the burgers. They'd be better if they were microwaved. A heavy silence fills the room. The contrast between these two groups is wild. Suddenly Tyan snaps. Stick with me, things are getting wild with Yudore. She holds him back, warning that their sanity is slipping as the resistance grows. It is getting intense. Chaeyon-ma admits hope is fading, but she still has a plan. She needs this man to reclaim her original form after he trapped her here. Her powers just aren't the same. Controlling her energy is becoming a total nightmare. Everything is a mess until Chaeyon-ma suddenly notices something in the distance. She senses a powerful presence in a house nearby, a very strange energy. Someone there hasn't been consumed by the rage. Yud Rianai thinks it's impossible. Every living soul is infected by the virus, and her senses are never wrong. But Chaeyon-ma walks to the window. She knows Yud Rianai is mistaken. A perfect human is approaching from 2 kilometers away, heading straight for them. If you listen closely, you can actually hear their heart beating from here. Udini starts to feel it too, wondering what this strange presence could be. Layla asks if there are really other survivors left out there in the world. Yun points out that even the infected are technically still alive. It's getting closer. They have no idea what's coming. Layla worries this person might be in danger. Tae is losing control as his rage peaks. The constellation tries to hold him. She warns that his power is starting to rival that of a cosmic god. At this rate, the whole Earth is doomed. He might actually destroy everything alone. She has to stay behind to restrain him. The girls are on their own now. Chaeyon-ma leaps through the window, carrying Iljin tightly in her arms. The girls call out to her. Are they really going to be okay alone? Chaeyon-ma is already gone, flying over the city with incredible jumping powers. Iljin is terrified. He wants to know why he has to tag along. She tells him he's the only one who understands this world's light. Even as a hamburger, they need him. Finally, they land right at the house. She can feel it. A peaceful soul is waiting just above them right now. Iljin isn't scared of zombies with her around, but he's worried about the door. The world has changed. Nobody is just going to let them inside so easily. Forget the main entrance. Chaeyon-ma is already moving toward the side. She bursts through a window and lands inside. Iljin is left totally stunned. He has no idea how she did that. She scans the quiet room carefully. Is anyone home? Suddenly, she hears soft breathing coming from behind the door. It's that pure energy she sensed. She swings the door open and stops cold. Iljin can't believe it. The room is covered in posters from famous webtoons. Chaeyon-ma thinks they're talismans. Iljin says they're just weird until she stirs. They look like magic symbols, honestly. Then, the person on the bed starts moving. Chaeyon-ma readies her power, but Iljin tells her to wait a second. Someone is getting up. It's a girl who just woke up from a nap. Iljin falls head over heels. He thinks she's the most extraordinary beauty ever. Chaeyon-ma slams him into the floor. This is no time for his games. The girl is shocked. A talking burger and a spirit girl, totally insane. It's like something from a manhwa. They both realize she's just like Taeyon. The girl thinks it's a webtoon scene. Chaeyon-ma asks if everyone is crazy. Iljin quickly denies it. This girl is definitely one of a kind. Now you and I can see why she's so excited. This is getting wild. She introduces herself as Lyra. Iljin's like, wait, haven't you been skipping school? Chaeyon-ma wonders if they're friends, but the hamburger mascot says she was actually super famous. Back at school, she had a nickname. The teacher starts handing out the test papers. He tells the class president to give Nara her test. Why? Because she's fast asleep. The president is totally baffled. I mean, she's literally never seen this girl awake. Yet Nara somehow pulls off perfect scores on every single test. It makes zero sense. Iljan just laughs it off. She's basically the #1 sleepy student. School life for Nara, just one long nap. And yeah, she's the first to admit it. It's foundation day, which explains why the entire campus is a total ghost town. Ma asks the real question. Was she napping while monsters were literally invading? Nara says it feels like a dream. You know, the ones with hunters and magic portals. No time for talk. Ma grabs her arm, they need to move now. Nara asks to be put down. She's actually worried about Ma getting tired. That's when the cultivator notices something. Nara really does look just like Tyan. They take to the skies, unaware that a mysterious figure is watching from afar. Interesting, that's all the figure says. Meanwhile, Yunya spots their destination. They land at the school. Ma announces that Nara is finally here. Nara's heart is racing. She's shocked. Why is everyone in this room so beautiful? Yun recognizes her immediately. Nara just smiles and says it's a pleasure. But the mood shifts. Layla sighs, Tyan's condition is getting worse by the second. There's only one way to stop this madness. They might have to take his life. That's when Nara sees him, the protagonist, tied up and completely out of it. Iljan's confused. Does she actually know this pervert? Nara just looks at him. He probably won't remember me, she says, but they go way back. Childhood friends, he's even the one who introduced her to Manhwa. For Tyan to be right here, it feels like a total dream. Wait, how is Nara not infected by the virus? It's a miracle, honestly. She recognizes Udinai as the constellation of justice. She'd heard the rumors. But Nara knows the truth. She's the one who owns this dream. Yunya can tell she's confused. Everything feels a bit hazy. Nara explains it's because her crush appeared, a dream made for the two of them. Suddenly, the protagonist snaps. He's gone full berserker, and no one can stop him. Everyone is frozen in fear, but then Nara does the unthinkable. She pulls Tyan into a hug. Please, she whispers, just remember me. Yudu Renee screams for her to get back. He's too dangerous. But Nara doesn't listen. She's crying now, telling him everything will be okay. Her tears begin to fall, landing right on the protagonist's face. One drop hits his forehead and starts purifying that deadly rage virus. She won't let go, she just keeps holding him close. Ma is speechless. She can't believe what she's seeing right now. Iljan's thinking, wait, this feels familiar. Where have I seen this before? There's no way, Yudu Renee thinks. This shouldn't even be possible. But it's happening. Nara's love is literally starting to regenerate him. A simple hug and a friend's tears. That's how you bring him back. Tyan finally opens his eyes. He only has one question, who are you? Nara introduced herself, feeling totally awkward. Tyan recognized her immediately. She is the girl who's always sleeping in class. Meanwhile, Leia is furious. Yudorina explains that Nara actually managed to save his life. Tyan realizes this girl isn't even a constellation, yet she fixed everything. It reminded him of those childhood friend stories, with hugs and tears. She basically secured the role of the girl in love with him. The rest of the crew finally felt like he was back. Our hero thanked her, though that outfit was definitely a bit much. He told Nara to get dressed. She still thought this was all a dream. He officially added her to the group in a support role. Parts that aren't quite right, so after that, when everything is ready, inserting the right images and syncing the audio together, then we proceed to export the video for publishing. So this is the process that I create a complete video. Therefore, I really hope that the YouTube support team reconsiders their decision. Check if there are any mistakes anywhere to help us return to the program earning money from YouTube. I sincerely thank you.